Hello and welcome back. Today I want to talk about something that is both, it was actually a little surprising to me, although I should have figured out that's how it would work anyway. But this is something useful, something you may not have seen before. So if we go to email here and go to Gmail, I got this email from my uncle the other day, and as you can see, it's written in Russian. And even though I'm fluent and everything, I just not a big fan of reading long emails, number one. Number two, I prefer English, let's put it this way. Okay? So whenever I get these two, typically before I would just ignore them because I'm just not going to read it. But the thing I want to share with you today is not anything about my uncle, but the fact that if you take an email like this written in a different language, now you have some really useful tools you can use right from Gmail without installing or doing anything to be able to see what it's all about. So for any of you who don't speak Russian, obviously this is useless. But what you can do is you can click on the Gemini icon here, and then let me move myself out of the way a little bit here. And then in this Gemini prompt, one of the options here is summarize this email in more detail. So if I simply click the button and then hit enter, it's going to give me a quick summary, but the cool thing is it's actually going to give it to me in English right there. So even though this is in Russian, it did what it needed to translate it and figured it out, and there's the summary basically of this email, which as you can see is a lot shorter than this entire email here. So that's one thing which is very useful, and you can read it, doesn't take that long, so on and so forth. Another thing you can do, I installed an extension called Read Aloud, and so if you highlight the text like I did and then right click, there's an option called Read Aloud Selected Text. So if you click on that,
O. Henry, a famous writer, had a life full of ups and downs. He had a difficult childhood, losing his mother at a young age and developing a fear of the dark. He worked as a pharmacist and later as a bank teller, but his life took a turn when he was accused of embezzlement. He fled to Central America, where he met a notorious outlaw, and eventually returned to the US to face prison. While in prison, he began writing short stories under the pen name O. Henry and gained popularity. His personal life was tumultuous, including a blackmail-induced marriage to a former lover, and he struggled with alcoholism. O. Henry died at the young age of 47, leaving behind a legacy of beloved short stories. People leave $1.87 on his grave, a reference to his famous story The Gift of the Magi.
so as you can see, it's definitely compelling. He does a really good job in summarizing it. And I actually did wind up reading this email just to make sure the summary was on the ball, and it is, very much so. And, it's great. It obviously saves a lot of time. It also completely kills the language barrier. So if you're looking at something in a different language, you don't have to say, go to any translating services or people or anything else. You simply say, give me a summary or whatever you need, and it'll do the job automatically. There's no intermediate step to translate anything. You take it in one language, and then you tell it to summarize it, and it'll summarize it in English for you. So that's a quick little deal for today. I hope it's useful, and please leave any questions or anything related to using languages in AI and things like that in the comments. If you like the video, click on like, and then obviously also click on share. And if you don't like the video, then just skip the like part and just simply share it. Thank you. Until next time, I'm still Oleg.